This video is brought to you by Practical Music Theory for the Rock Guitarist, my new book, which is a comprehensive guide to all aspects of music theory necessary for playing rock guitar. From blues to the cycle of fifths, from understanding and using modes to choosing the right notes for a melodic solo, from pentatonic scales to chord construction and keys. It's all covered in a clear and concise manner. With accompanying video demonstrations, jam tracks and tabs, you'll learn to use the knowledge you gain in accessible ways that make sense for less than the cost of a few guitar lessons. Check out the link in the description for more details. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. That was me having a stab at something you don't often hear on this channel, playing a metal solo. You obviously know what it was. It was from Metallica's The Unforgiven. That whole Black Album thing kind of came out roughly about the same time as I started teaching the guitar all those years ago, and I remember one of my students bringing a Metallica CD into the lesson and wanting to learn some stuff off it, and I thought, oh, this is going to be a challenge, because, well, basically, I'd first heard Metallica I guess in the sort of mid-80s, when I was a devotee of the Friday rock show, that erstwhile institution on the BBC, about the only 2 hours a week when you actually got to hear rock music. And, I'd sort of got into rock music in the late 70s, Rainbow, Judas Priest, that sort of thing, a bit of Thin Lizzy. And, started listening to this rock show on the radio, and then it sort of kind of changed a bit, really. It all sort of got a bit spandex poodle perm, bubblegum, glam metal kind of stuff, which I wasn't really into. And if it wasn't that, it was all the kind of high octane, to my ears, very dissonant and not particularly pleasing thrash stuff, led by none other than Metallica. So I didn't really pay a lot of attention to Metallica after that until, as I say, this student of mine back in the early 90s brought in that Black Album CD, and I got to tell you, I was a bit of a convert. It's probably one of the few metal albums in my collection, and I still listen to it, and that track, The Unforgiven, is one of my favourite tracks on it, which is why I thought I'd have a little bit of a look at the solo. So you've heard what it sounds like, you've heard my little bit of a backstory with it. Let's take a bit of a look under the bonnet, or under the hood if you prefer, and see what's going on in the solo.
Solo explanation.
Okay, let's begin as always by taking a look at the chord sequence the solo is played over, which goes like this. So what key are we in here? Well, the moment you get a G chord, a C chord, and a D chord all happening together, there's only one key that you can be in. We're in the key of G major. If you take the notes in a G chord, G, B and D, the notes in a C chord, C, E and G, and the notes in a D chord, D, F sharp and A, and you just mix them all together and string them along into a like into a line of notes, if you like, you get the notes G, A, B, C, D, E, and F sharp. That's a G major scale. But it's, as you've probably noticed, this solo has very much more of an A minor feel. And, well, that is what we call a mode. Basically, we're in the key of G major, but we're shining the spotlight away from the G chord onto the A minor chord. When you do that, that is a mode. And when you do what we're doing in this case here, which is shining the spotlight, the focus, the tonality, if you like, onto the second chord, the 2 chord in the key, A minor, that is called the Dorian mode. And the way I tend to think about this is to think, well, okay, the tonality is A minor, so we're going to be playing lots of bits and pieces of A minor pentatonic, A, C, D, E, and G, and then just add in the missing notes, the B note, there it is there, and the F sharp note, into the A minor pentatonic, and that will give us a kind of a fingering, a kind of set of shapes to play the A Dorian mode. It's better, I think, to do it that way than to just think in terms of playing a G major scale but gravitating somehow towards the second note in the scale. Keep the core tonality of A minor focused by just playing A minor pentatonic and adding in the missing notes, which is where this solo starts. We start with this pair of notes here, this D at the 7th fret 3rd string and the F sharp at the 7th fret on the 2nd string, and we do a very sort of Chuck Berry reminiscent bend like this, a double stop bend like that. Very bluesy rock and roll kind of, as I say, Chuck Berry-ish kind of thing going on there. So, and then we just do a little descending thing based entirely on A minor pentatonic, like that. And another kind of bluesy touch that he puts in here is taking this C note here, the minor third, and giving it that slight blues curl where you bend it slightly sharp. After that, we have an ascending run made up of the A Dorian mode, coming up the mainly up the 3rd string. There's that F sharp, one of the Dorian mode notes. So, and then taking the, basically playing like a little pedal tone thing up here, going for the D note 15th fret on the 3rd string, back to the 14th fret A on the 3rd string, then doing the same thing with the C, and then doing the same thing with the D again. So, then we go up to position 1 of A minor pentatonic up at the 17th fret for some bendy sort of stuff. And then we have one of the more interesting parts of the solo, I think. We come back down to position 1 of A minor pentatonic down here at the 5th fret to start off this little one. Just pure, again, very, very Chuck Berry-ish kind of lick that. You'll hear that in many rock and roll songs. But then we come up to this part of the neck up here, where he plays this little lick. Now, what's interesting about this? Well, he's playing this note here, a C sharp. Not once, but twice. There it is. And there it is again. And then notice he kind of comes down to the C note here rather than the C sharp. There is no sugarcoating it. That C sharp note there is not a right note. If I play an A minor chord, which is, let's remember the overall feel of the solo is A minor, and then if I just tap a C sharp note, I'll do it here. Okay, if I just tap a C sharp note on top of that A minor chord, you'll hear that it sounds somewhat odd. Hear that? The A minor chord has a C note in it and a C sharp. Let's see if I can play those two notes together. You're getting this kind of sound. This note, this C, is in the chord. This C sharp note here is what he's playing in the lick. So, why is he doing that? I don't know. If ever I meet Kirk Hammett, I'll ask him about that. I get the feeling that it was just, you know, kind of in the heat of playing, and he played the lick, and it came out that way. They listened back to the solo and thought, yeah, that's got a really good vibe. And although that is, as I say, not a right note, it's there for 2 instances of a 16th note triplet each. It's not kind of hogging the limelight. It's not taking up a lot of space. So let's have a look at that lick once again. Like that, coming down basically into a more A minor pentatonic. We're adding the B note in there as part of that run, and it's up here as well. You know, which again reinforces that Dorian thing. And then he plays like about a bar and a half of just an A minor arpeggio up here. 19th fret on the 4th string, the A note, and then the E note 17th fret on the B string, and the C note 17th fret on the G string. So like that. And then we get into a little bit of what you could call note targeting, because this is where we have the C to the G kind of thing going on, and he bends this D note here up to the major third of that C chord, and it's just a really kind of melodic moment in the solo, I think. Then a little bit of almost Gary Moore kind of dusty end of the neck kind of twiddly stuff. That kind of thing, played, you know, kind of a little bit faster than that, is very sort of Gary Moore. Notes again, we're adding in the B note here. I'll play the lick slowly and excuse the squeaky chair so you can kind of see what's going on. And then we're back into the thing again, because we've hit that C to G chord bar. And then sustain that G note there for a little bit, and we add in one extra note here, this F note, which is just acting kind of as like a flat 9th against the impending E chord. E isn't in the overall key of G major or A Dorian mode. It's just serving there as like the 5 chord to take us back to the A minor. And you know, if you've got an E chord, just adding in that flat 9th there, that F, that just serves to add a little bit of exotic spiciness. So, one of my favourite Kirk Hammett solos, it has to be said. And that's why I thought I'd tackle it. And now you've seen what to do, go away and have some fun with it yourself. And as usual, you'll find a full tab for the solo in both Guitar Pro and PDF formats, along with a clip of me playing it, that explanation you've seen there, and a backing track to play along with yourself. All of that is up on my Patreon page. There's the address, link in the description. As I'm sure you know by now, $3 or £3 a month gets you access to all of these additional goodies and resources that go along with these YouTube videos. And of course, a massive, massive thank you to everybody who supports me in that, or any of the other ways, all of which are downstairs in the description. And that is pretty much it for today, folks. Hope you've enjoyed the video and learned something from it. And if that's the case, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so, and why not drop me a like as well while you're at it. Don't forget, as always, the live stream every Friday, 5 PM UK time. We drink beer and talk about music and guitars and many, many other things. It's a great way to kick off the weekend, and I'd love to see you there if you can make it. But for now, I'll bid you all a good day and say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Look after yourselves, folks. Stay well, stay safe, and above all, stay sane. Bye for now.